Hello guys and welcome. Today let's talk about new Elden Ring like game. Maybe you guys didn't heard, but there is actually going to be a new game called Nightreign from the creators of Elden Ring. And you know what is really ironic? The community has been, complaining for years how their franchise is outdated, how they have zero social and multiplayer elements. And what do? They make a new game solely focused on co-op, right? Like, just imagine that, The truth is, games like Elden Ring or Wukong, it's a miracle this game got so popular. Because these games lack so much multiplayer and social elements, they have no real replayability. The whole game is supposed to be designed around character building and progression, but you can't really do that because again you have limited amount of larva tiers, so you can only try so many builds against bosses and other players. We have no rank leaderboards, no rewards, no social elements, even basic features like that were in the game 20 years ago. And on top of that, we have all these limitations of console, right? We have pair-to-pair connection, we have 60 FPS limit, right? Because these games are made for console, and that's all they are. And then you add all these outdated mentalities on top of it, zero social elements, zero multiplayer elements, zero true replayability, because Miyazaki did a biggest mistake. And he reached replayability through artificial single player elements, literally, forcing you to replay the same game over and over again just to get all the items, basically punishing any completionist, anybody that takes this game seriously. And even when you get all these cool items, you can't really use them, right? Because you have a limited amount of larva tiers and so on and so on. You can't use horse in co-op, right? I mean, is this really what we wanted as a community? Just another outdated co-op game for console players? Is that really it? And I'm actually surprised how many people here are talking about this new game and keep on praising it, right? But probably in reality most of these are actually just promotional accounts that, like honestly, these guys have no idea what are they doing, Now they're just gonna make another co-op focused game with zero replayability that will probably die in a year or two because the game has no replayability. They don't allow players to make their own content. It's actually a miracle how Elden Ring, for example, or Wukong ever got so popular, because they're literally just glorified console game with so many missing elements that if any other studio would make such game, But hey, I guess if you use enough promotional accounts on social media today, you can make any game seems popular, right? I mean, how can people even have any hope in this studio anymore when we have been literally asking them for years for any updates, to make the game feel more complete? We don't even have basic keyboard scheme for PC and Steam players for Elden Ring, right? No basic keyboard scheme. No social elements, no multiplayer elements, no true replayability, just literally getting punished by the game design on every second corner. So I'm already telling you guys now, I'm definitely not buying their next games for sure, because I know they won't really they will never make complete game. And we have been literally asking them for years to add just basic multiplayer elements like factions, basic rank leaderboard and rewards for invasions in arena, to make the game more replayable, to add larva tiers as a rewards for invasions in arena, But no, these guys are just gonna make another game solely focused on co-op elements. If I wanna play a co-op game, if I wanna play a single player game, I would play fucking Mario or any other games. There are literally 20-year-old games like Pirate of the Black Cat or Destrega that feel way more complete than Elden Ring today. So why are we still preaching them? I bought Elden Ring in expansion, on sale, and I still feel cheated, And the only reason I bought expansion is because I had a feeling I'm gonna fall behind, And this is how they do it. They just make the half-ass games and making you feel like you're falling behind, so you buy it, and then they never give you any updates or anything like that. Even basic elements are missing from the game. So again, like, what are we doing here? You know, these guys think they are special, they are innovative, but in reality they are just outdated like everybody else, you know? And Nightreign, it's not even a good name for a game, like, it's a bit weird. Like, a 10-year-old could come up with a better name, man. And yeah, it's probably gonna be PlayStation and Xbox exclusive. And we will have zero. They didn't even give us basic keyboard scheme. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4 for abilities for PC and Steam players. No. I mean, these guys think they're innovative, but they're just making outdated console games. Are we serious? Like, holy shit, man. They're just one of those studios that always focus on the wrong things, have zero innovation, and then they use all these promotional accounts on social media to manipulate people into buying it. And they make us feel like we're gonna fall behind, you know. But the reality is these games have no real replayability, no social multiplayer elements. They have one of the best franchises in the world, but they can't make a complete game. They're supposed to make a complete, a dream game for us. But, you know, how Elden Ring was managed over the years, how overhyped it was, even though it was literally just outdated console game with zero social and multiplayer elements, is kinda insanity in my opinion. I'm definitely not buying their next game because I know they don't care. They showed us with Elden Ring, they don't care. They didn't even bother to implement basic factions or give the game any real replayability. Imagine how cool this game could be if you would have like, you know, some clans and maybe even server announcers, or you have a leaderboard for first and fastest boss kills, you know, just like in the King's Avatar. Guys, I highly suggest, if you love gaming, watch the King's Avatar animation. It's probably one of the best gaming animation out there, and you can really learn how to make a complete game. So I didn't really, you know, this just popped in my Reddit feed, you know, because all these bots are pushing it to the top, but, you know. And people say this guy, the Miyazaki, is such a good game designer. Like, what? How I mean, if anybody else would make such an incomplete game as Elden Ring or Wukong, they would not get as half of so many praises as these guys do. I'm not even sure, are these bots? Are these just, you know, fans of the franchise? You know, I'm not saying, you know, single player or co-op games are a bad thing. You know, everybody loves to play with others. But when I play Elden Ring, the game feels so dead. You're basically waiting in these dead zones for invasions or arena. There is no players running around. The best form of social interaction this guy came up with are some stupid messages on the floor that never really helped you, and nobody cares about them. Is this really the best thing Miyazaki could do? Like, Jesus, this guy is talking about making a complete game, yet all his games are totally outdated, and they show zero care and they never listen to the community. And now they're gonna make a new game, and they specifically say they're gonna focus on co-op elements because they felt like Elden Ring wasn't co-op enough. Like, Elden Ring is such a even some single player games feel more alive than Elden Ring. Jesus, man.